You know that awkward moment in Ramadan when you check the clock 5 minutes before iftar every 30 seconds? Your stomach is growling, your patience is thin, and suddenly even water commercials feel like a test from Allah. I once joked with a friend, if patience had a final exam, Ramadan would be the result day. But then he looked at me and said something that stayed with me. Do you know this same hunger once changed the world? Ramadan is not just the month of fasting. It is the month of self-purification, the month of discipline, and quietly, powerfully, it is also the month of victory. Most of us think Ramadan is about slowing down life, less food, less sleep, less energy. But history whispers a different story. When Muslims had less in their hands, they had more strength in their hearts. Let me take you back to the 17th of Ramadan. A dry desert, heavy hearts, empty stomachs, only 313 companions standing with the Prophet Muhammad. Across from them stood 1,000 well-equipped enemies. This was the Battle of Badr. The Quran tells us that on that day, Allah sent divine help and angels to support the believers. And Hadith narrations describe how the Prophet Muhammad spent the night before the battle in deep supplication, raising his hands and trusting Allah completely. That day, Ramadan witnessed the first great victory of Islam, not because of numbers, but because of faith. Ramadan teaches us this simple truth. Victory does not come from strength alone. It comes from reliance on Allah. Years passed. Pain turned into patience. Patience turned into power. On the 20th of Ramadan, the Prophet Muhammad entered Mecca with 10,000 companions. The city that once chased him out now opened its gates. And what did he do? He forgave. He lowered his head in humility. He declared safety for those who feared punishment. Hadith records tell us that this conquest was bloodless. No revenge, no pride, just mercy. This was the conquest of Mecca, a victory not of swords, but of character. Sometimes I think if mercy were a weapon, this was the sharpest one ever used. But Ramadan's victories didn't stop there. In Ramadan, a young commander named Tariq ibn Ziyad crossed into Spain with only 7,000 soldiers. Facing a mighty army, he trusted Allah. History remembers this as the opening of Andalusia, where knowledge, justice, and faith flourished in Europe. In another Ramadan, Salahuddin Ayyubi reclaimed Jerusalem, and instead of slaughter, he showed compassion. Historians, Muslim and non-Muslim alike, record how he protected civilians and honored dignity. This is Islamic victory, strength guided by mercy. In Ramadan, Muhammad bin Qasim laid the foundation of Islam in the Indian subcontinent. And centuries later, during Ramadan again, Muhammad al-Fatih conquered Constantinople, fulfilling a prophecy mentioned by the Prophet in Hadith. Every one of these victories shares one secret: faith, unity, discipline, trust in Allah. And here we are today. No swords, no armies, no battlefields, but our wars are still real. We fight our egos, we fight our addictions, we fight our anger, our despair, our distance from Allah. The Quran reminds us that Allah is with those who practice patience and self-restraint. And the Prophet said in Hadith that the strongest person is not the one who defeats others, but the one who controls himself when angry. Maybe that's why Ramadan feels so hard, because the battlefield is inside us. By the way, if you're listening to this and your heart feels nodding along, you might want to stay connected. Subscribing to this channel is like sitting down for these heart-to-heart conversations again and again. And if the notification bell is on, you won't miss the next reminder when your heart needs it most. Ramadan is not asking you to conquer cities. It is asking you to conquer yourself. If this month helps you lower your gaze, hold your tongue, soften your heart, and turn back to Allah, then this Ramadan is your Badr, is your Makkah, is your greatest victory. So tonight, as you break your fast, ask yourself one question. What victory do I want from this Ramadan? And may Allah accept this month as a time of truth overcoming falsehood, light defeating darkness, and hearts finally finding their way back to Him. Ameen.